Oh, I need to start the recording. There we go. All right. So, web collaboration is this is what's needed for web collaboration. It's you'll need a power user license. Okay, the power user license, again, we've talked about this before in other Guru sessions, but that enables the 1X portal, and 1X portal is the backbone for all of these features, just like the web collaboration is. So not only do you need the license, but you actually need to have the 1X portal installed and running. So when you install 1X portal, the web collaboration piece is installed as well. And you'll also need a web collaboration license for every host. You won't need the license for every guest that joins, but for every host that's going to initiate a collaboration meeting, they will need to have a license on the system to schedule and present. Supported browsers, it's all of your major browsers, Chrome, Explorer, Firefox. I know there's some exotic browsers out there, but these are the ones we try to stick to make this work. So again, this web collaboration piece is new to release 9.1. So if you're going to upgrade, the older hardware, some of that legacy hardware has to be upgraded. In past releases, Avaya has tried to make sure that that equipment has been carried along, but this is the cutoff at this point. You will have to upgrade to the new chassis, and any legacy cards that you have, you'll need to upgrade those as well. Yep, we'll show that at the end. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a scenario here where myself, Paul, and a fictitious user out there, Paul Test, they've been trying to get together and share a presentation. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to Paul Test here, and we're going to make sure that he's available to meet. Let me clear that. Okay, so we can chat through here. Okay, now we have two participants. They're ready to meet to start a collaboration meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to from 1X portal, I'm going to have the system contact Paul Test and join him into the bridge. So I can do that here. Actually, that joined my phone, and now I'm going to join Paul Test into the bridge, and I can find him in 1X portal in the system directory. I locate Paul Test, and this icon here on any user, if you press that, your bridge is going to call that individual, so they don't have to do anything on their part. Okay. So now we have both participants joined into the conference bridge. We have the host, Paul Fragway, and Paul Test. So that's just the audio piece, but now what we need to do is initiate the web conferencing. So this icon here, it's new as well to 1X portal in release 9.1, and this will start the web conference. So I'll initiate it on this end. Okay, and it's going to be my conference, so I'll go ahead and let that join. I'm already connected through my audio bridge. Alright, so I can see that I'm in here, but now conversely, Paul Test on his end from his 1X portal, I'm going to pull that over. Now this is 1X portal logged in as Paul Test, right? He wants to join my bridge, so what he can do on his end is find my name. Okay, and because I have a host license, he can join my conference bridge, or sorry, my web collaboration session. And now we're both in. Okay, back to this. here I am, the host. So the whole purpose of this is, Paul Test and Paul Fragway here, they need to share some content, and what they're trying to share today is a document over the Avaya communicator, which happens to be the new soft phone for release 9.1. So I can select that, and I can choose to share it. So now this is the document that I'm sharing as a host, and you can see I have different controls here, and I can see who my participants are. Now you can imagine if I had a long list of participants here, I can organize these guys in the type of role that they're participating or how they're participating in the web collaboration. This icon here is showing that I'm the moderator. There could be multiple moderators, so you may have another, let's say, co-worker who's also joined the meeting as a moderator, and they can take minute notes. So any topics that are discussed, they can use these minutes down here to make notes. And then they can also enter it in as an action item. Okay, and you'll see how this is important at the end, because what happens is inside of the web collaboration, it will create a report, and these notes that you put in will show up, so you can remember and refer back to who was actually in the conference, and when they joined, when they left, what action items were assigned, and those different things. But this is from the host view here. Okay, and then this is Paul Test. This is what he sees. Okay, he can see the different meeting notes here. He can see the document that's being shared out. Okay, let's get this back over here. Alright, and we can scroll through. This is a multi-page PDF document that I have loaded up to the document library. Now the document library itself can take PDF documents and JPEGs. Those are the two document types that can be loaded. And then you have these tools along the side where you can, maybe you need to draw attention to a specific topic. Let's change the color. This one's really important here, so put that in yellow. You have different markers. Alright, let's see. You can scroll through, you can increase, decrease the magnification of the document. Scroll through the pages. Now, in this scenario, I'm just showing a document. You can also show, you can create a whiteboard. Maybe you want to show an application, and what that does, it brings up another screen where you can pick the application that you currently have open, and it shows just the windows associated with that application. Maybe you just also want to show maybe the top right corner of your screen. You can do that as well. Your entire screen. And in this case, I'm doing the document library. I found that the document library was best for this demo because the other, especially the screen sharing, you'll get that infinity window that goes forever because of the GoToMeeting. Alright. Also here, let's see, I talked about that. If we needed to add a participant, maybe someone forgot to join and we need to just add them, we could go here and I could dial out using the application here to an outside party. Maybe they're on a cell phone and they, instead of having to call in, they wanted me to dial them in. I can do that here. This is some of your conference controls. Maybe this is a meeting that is sensitive in nature, and now that I know all the participants are here, I want to lock the meeting so no one else can join. I have the option to do that. Also, I want to make sure at the end of the conference that everybody's out. I can end the conference for everybody. Also, I can control how different guests interact with the web collaboration. I can change this individual into a presenter so they have controls. Maybe they have topics that they want to discuss on the same content, so I can change the presenter over. I can mute individuals. Also, I can drop them from a call. Let me check questions real quick. Remember, if any of you guys have questions, there's that question section inside of your GoToMeeting app. Let's see, I have a question here. Ralph's asking, is this like Link? I guess if you're in the web collaboration and you're sending messages back and forth, so it could be like a chat. So at this point, I could ask either all my participants or just a specific person. Maybe so I could ask Paul Test. Let's say I had a list of individuals, but I only want to ask Paul Test, a question. Okay, but I could also send a message out to everyone. Okay, and again, all of these messages, all of this, the meeting notes and that will come together in the end to form a report. Ralph, I hope that answered your question. Let me know if there's another piece to it that you have questions on. Okay. I can mute myself here. Also, if I needed to send out invite details, I could do that here. So this gives the audio bridge number to dial, and also the conference information. And then this button here will copy this content to my clipboard, so I could take that and paste it into an email and send it to whoever I need to send it to have them join. Okay, once the meeting is over, I can end the web collaboration here, and then instantly you can see that kicked Paul Test out, so that way I know that the meeting is over. I can also end the audio here. Yes. Give me a second to kill it off of the communicator soft phone. Alright, so now the web collaboration session's done. It's been completed. Some of the options you have from here is you could go back into or you could go to this console and you can pull reports. Okay, so you can see a list of the different web collaboration sessions that have taken place. A lot of these are just practice runs I've done, but here is the last one that we just did as a group. Okay, and you can see what content was shared, and then what questions were asked. Okay, and then you can take that and you can export this into an HTML file, and you can email that to your guests or your that joined the conference, or you can email it to anyone that needed to know different details about the content that was shared and who was participating in the group. See if we hit export. It's just an HTML document that can be, again, saved to any location, attached to an email, and sent. Cancel that. Again, this is the library where I had the different content uploaded. And these are a couple of documents that I have. So if you have a presentation coming up and you have multiple PDF files or images you need to upload, you could do that prior to the meeting, and you'll have them available to you. Okay. Close that. All right. Okay, so that scenario that we just went through was an ad hoc conference. That's where myself and Paul Tess, on the spur of the moment, we decided to have a web collaboration session. That's one way that you could do web collaboration. Another way is you could just have the links and you could send them out to your different guests, and they could open them up in their email, call into the bridge, and you guys could do it that way. We just happened to go through 1X portal to do ours. Another way that you could have a web collaboration meeting is you could schedule one in advance. So it's kind of like your Outlook meetings. It's just like that, and actually this integrates with Outlook. So if you need to create a new meeting, you can, well, your first view, this gadget here is new to the 1X portal in release 9.1, and this is your conference scheduling. It kind of gives you a snapshot of different conferences that you have reserved out in the future. So I can see this here, this discuss future plans. We have it set up for April 10th to start at 9 o'clock. All right, and we'll go through creating a conference now. Okay, so if I need to schedule a conference, I need to just add my attendees. I'm going to be one, obviously, and we can add Richard. And let's say we also have a customer that we need to add. Her name is Judy. We'll put in her phone number. And then an email so that she receives, so when I put her email in here and save this, she will receive a Outlook meeting that she can accept. It'll reserve it on her calendar, and it'll also have the dial-in information and the web link that she needs to join the meeting with Richard and myself. Something like that. Okay, so I have all my participants. Okay. And then these are the different codes. So let's say I'm the only one that needs to be the host, so I'll take out the different codes. So they pretty much all they're going to do is be guests in the presentation. They're not going to really interact with it at all. Okay, and then you can add another description here, and then we have to pick our start time. So let's put this for Thursday, and this meeting is going to take place at 9 a.m. Okay, Thursday, and it's going to be, that's fine, 30-minute meeting. We'll put in what this could be a recurring meeting, just like Outlook. If it's recurring, you'll check that box. We want to email a report after the web collaboration is done. And again, specify that it's a web collaboration conference, so they will receive the URL, and we'll schedule that. You'll receive a pop-up. It's kind of like a brief description of the meeting that we have scheduled in the future. Say, yes, that looks right. Okay, so now what that does is basically, oh, that's the email that went out. This is a lab system, so it's not set up to actually send the email request. But now we'll see in one screenshot here. I can see at a glimpse what meetings I have, when they are, and how long they'll last. Okay, and if you had a long list of them, you could search here. All right. Let me see if there's any questions on that. All right, I have a question. Mike Owens had a question concerning documents that can be loaded into the document library. It's only PDF files and JPEGs, and the reason for that that we receive from Avaya is to keep the cost down on the web conferencing application. Apparently the back-end software that renders these documents, so if you upload a Word doc, apparently most web conferencing applications do have to change or convert that into a PDF, so that application that runs in the background is expensive to convert those docs. So what they've done is they've limited it to just PDF documents and JPEGs. How can I tell what version of IP Office I'm on? I'll show you that in a minute, Ralph. Alright, that's all the questions we have right this second. Let me think of anything else while I'm in here. Again, anywhere you see inside of 1X Portal, this icon here, that's the web collaboration. So that's not just a 1X Portal. You also have that in the Outlook add-in. We also have that in the call assistant that rides down in the system tray. And those, we'll discuss those in other Guru sessions. But let's kind of take a peek real quick at some of the configuration that happens on the back end to set up a host on IP Office. So let me pull this up. This is a config that I've pulled from our lab. Hopefully you guys can see that. Once you've pulled a config, Ralph, you had asked, how do you tell what type of chassis you're on and what release you're on? Once you've pulled a config, if you go to Control Unit, you'll see all of the hardware that you have on your system currently and the release that it's on. So you can see this is on the latest release 9.1, and this chassis that we're running is an IP500 V2. And you can also in here see all the different cards that you have. I hope that answers your question there. Now, what I mentioned at the beginning was the licensing that you'll have to have. In this case, you'll need the power user. You'll see that we have power user licenses here. And also, this lab system is configured to have up to 2 hosts that can schedule meetings and initiate them. Okay. Again, that doesn't limit the number of guests that can join a conference or a web collaboration session. It's just the number of hosts that you can have at any one time on the system. All right. Now that we have the proper licensing in place, I know 1X Portal is installed. Now I need to configure a user, and it's really easy. So once you've identified who your hosts are going to be, so in this case, I'm going to be a host. I need to set a conference pin. Okay. It's digits that I use to go in and make sure that I'm the one that is sharing content. You just put that in on the user tab. This is a new section as well to release 9.1. I've assigned power user level of access. Okay, and then you check the box web collaboration. When you have those pieces in place, then that individual will show up in 1X Portal and be able to log in, and they'll also have a web collaboration session that they have reserved for them the entire time. All right, and then let's see. That's that piece. Does anybody have any questions on that? I think we've covered all the questions that are asked out there. All right. Let's just kind of wrap this up here. So we do these Guru sessions. The main purpose of these is to kind of show you guys what's new, also to get with you guys and share different solutions that we have and best practices that we have for some common issues that we see going on. So we monitor support constantly, and we'll kind of get together and say, hey, it'd be really good to have a Guru session on this. So not all of these sessions are just as much demos. So a lot of them are also going to be how can you apply these solutions to resolve maybe problems that you guys are having as well. So that's kind of the main goal, and also to keep a good communication with customers. Anytime you guys have issues, you can shoot an email to the support at AgilityCG.com, and our support team will get a hold of those and get you taken care of. Also, at the end of this session, you'll receive a survey, and in that survey you're asked different questions. Just give us your feedback, and it'll help us make these sessions better and add more value for you guys. Also, for our support customers, you will receive free upgrades. What that means is you'll get the upgrade license for free. So it is valuable not only from a support perspective to have a contract with us, but also it helps keep you guys up to date as far as your software. These future gurus, you can always go to agilitycg.com/events, and you can see when the next guru session will take place. And also our support contracts, if you don't have one, you might reach out to us. They're useful when you need it and expensive when you don't have them, and you need to get in touch with us. So I would definitely get with the sales rep, find out what it's going to cost to get you in at an advisor level support contract, and then our top tier support contract is extended team, which basically means we're an extension of your IT staff, and your problems are our problems, and we'll work together with you guys real close to get you up and running no matter what issues you're facing. So check into those. If you don't know who your sales rep is, you can always just contact us at support@agilitycg.com. We'll look it up. We'll make sure you guys get in touch. So if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and close this session out, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.